When I was in my early teens, my dad would drag us into Kentucky every chance he got. 10 hours each way, it seemed to be the most of our trip was driving. Finally, we would arrive at our Aunt Lainey's home. God, I loved her. She had 9 kids. My cousin Ronnie decided that he would tell us about an urban legend called the Devil Lady of Trace-Licking Hollow, or Holler, as he liked to pronounce it. Ronnie shared with us the following. Up on the outer ridge of this hollow way above the tree line lived a bitter old woman who hated everyone and everything. She was so full of hate that she just started doing things to her neighbors. She took pets. When she would pass a neighbor on the road as they were walking beside the road, she would try to take a swipe at them. As this woman got older, she started looking into people's windows, scaring everyone, but she would always disappear by the time any of the family would come out of the house. Then one family had enough. Their father grabbed his hunting rifle and made the hike up to the ridge where this old lady lived. When he entered her property, something was not right. It was too quiet. Then he saw her laying out in the middle of a small garden, dead. Dead for a very long time. How could she still be terrorizing this whole hillside? He also told me to stay away from the windows in the deepest part of night. I said okay, thinking this was just a ploy to get me to go to sleep and not get out of bed. You see, I'm a night owl, my mother says. I've been this way since I was in her womb. So I walk up the stairs and get into bed, and I cannot get to sleep. I start reading a book that I brought. The last chimes I remember were 3. I turn over and look towards the window, and I freeze. There, in the second floor bedroom window, was this hideous face I have ever seen. Matted, long hair, skin so thin that some was there and some wasn't. Red eyes, yellow teeth, on the hag's head were horns. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. I threw the blankets over my head and just kept praying the old hag would go away. The next morning, I came down for breakfast and my aunt looked at me and said, How did you sleep? I said, okay, I guess. And when my aunt left the room, Cousin Ronnie looks at me and says, Buffy. She always knows what's going on in her hollow.